Hello, everybody, and welcome to Let's Talk Mondays, where we are talking to you with topics and discussions on the other side of the weekend. I am your host, Sherrie Roberts, and this is episode 22. And I am so excited about my guest for tonight. By the way, before we go into this broadcast, we are going to ask you to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, SLR Pros. And of course, tell somebody about this event because today we are talking about fathers. Of course, June is where we acknowledge fathers for Father's Day. And I wanted to do something I felt really inspired to move in that direction. We did something for Mother's Day, so we're going to switch over to the dads. So tonight I had several persons that could fulfill this role, but we are going to turn it over to someone I believe is very well qualified for this. Tonight, by the way, we're talking about paternity, the state or fact of being a father, and the value of fatherhood. So we're going to get started. Now, let me give you a brief introduction because you are in for a treat. This gentleman I have known probably all of his life. That sounds a little strange, but probably all of his life, especially through his family line. He comes from a generation of pastors and spiritual leaders and fathers. And we are talking to Chad McGriff. He and his wife, Erica, have been married for 18 years. They have 6 beautiful children. And Chad is a native of Jacksonville, Florida, and he's passionate about seeing people thrive in life with God. So tonight he's going to talk about how dads can thrive and the importance of being a father. So we want to welcome to Let's Talk Mondays, Chad McGriff. And I'm going to show your nice picture since you took the time to send it to me. Chad's going to be talking with us, and we're going to go right into getting with Chad. Good afternoon or good evening to you.
Hey, how you doing? Thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much.
I am so grateful for you coming aboard, and we're going to go right into our discussion. I think I hit my camera here that gave me a part of you on another camera here, so that's okay. I'm going to keep moving right along.
That's
I
okay.
do see you, and hopefully my audience sees you as well.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to go right into, there you are.
There we go.
Okay, we're going to go right into our first question. And of course, I said we talked about paternity, and that
Right.
is the state of fatherhood. And you've been a dad for a few years now.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about the beginning, when you
Ah.
first found out you're a dad. Let's talk about it.
Oh
Tell me
man,
your
it
experience
was
and how it's changed you.
yeah, it was definitely life changing. Um yeah, my oldest will be 18 in September. And
Wow.
so yeah, being a dad for 18 years and
Wow.
6 kids when we first found out about him,
Mhm.
I was so um I wasn't necessarily afraid. A lot of guys say they're scared. I was just I just had a desire to do my best, and I
Wow.
really wanted to just fulfill the role in the best way. And so I was like super intrigued about the entire process and want to know like what stage of development the baby was
Right.
in, and hearing the heartbeat for the first time. It was just amazing to me. Like I'm like, wow, God did this. So this is so it was
Abs
so cool.
Yeah.
Um, and so for like stepping into the role, it was a lot of excitement, a
Mhm.
lot of anticipation, and then this awareness when they get here is like, okay, I don't know a thing about really being a dad. I watched my dad and thought out, figured this thing out, but you don't know until you're really into it. And
Right.
so stepping into fatherhood, you realize really quick like there are some gaps that you got to fill. So that was my experience. But um I think the biggest thing for me was knowing that, you know, the love that I had for this person was totally unconditional. Like he didn't have to do a thing for me to love him.
Wow.
And that really just struck my heart. I was like, this is like the love of God towards us.
That's
And I
right.
was like, I'm getting a taste of this, through this relationship with my child. So yeah, it was hit me on all different levels. So it was real
Wow.
good.
Wow, I can imagine, especially a first time. You
Yes.
mentioned about you saw fathers doing it, but then to do it yourself is
Yes.
kind of a different experience, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's and had great examples in my dad is amazing father. Um so taking what I the thing is that you think about you being father, but it's at the age that you can remember, not from a
Right.
newborn. So
Right.
and
Right.
so from that stage is like, okay, what do I do? How do I handle this kid? How am I supposed to support my wife? Because I feel like I can't do nothing for this baby, but
Right.
change diapers right now. So yeah, just stepping into that new role, it let me know real fast, like, okay, Chad, you got to figure some stuff out. You got to learn some things and really understand what this role means. So yeah, it was a good experience though.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, I see in your bio that
Mhm.
at 21 years old, you were called into ministry. And
Yes,
I'm sure that was a life changer there. And
absolutely.
so you have a passion for people, you have a passion for the love of God and the word of God. What would you say to a young minister, particularly a minister, when they're entering into ministry? You're juggling between, okay, the kids, when we're going to take them to practice, and when I got to preach to people. How would you kind of tell them how should they start out now that you've kind of gotten your feet wet a little? How would you tell them they should balance that, could balance that?
Most definitely, you and your spouse need to be on the same page as far as what the goal is for the family as a whole. There
Mhm,
needs to be a unified vision, um, for the family that
mhm,
we all working together towards together.
mhm,
Um, and and then in that, you need to definitely have systems in place to maintain all of the moving pieces. Like it'll be a lot going on, and we have to weigh out, like, okay, what's priority, what's most significant, what things can we offload,
mhm,
what things are necessary and have to stay in place. And then, like, and just making sure that we stay on top of just working together as a unit and not
mhm,
just being separate trying to do our own things. But as long
right.
as that, that father and husband can have open communication with their spouse, and everybody's on the same page working towards the same goal, they have systems in place and they follow those things and keep it intact, then I believe that they'll be able to accomplish some great things.
That's awesome advice, especially you mentioned about having systems, having things that
Yes.
you both can follow and definitely be on one accord.
Yes.
Very important. And it leads me to my next question, which has to do with, and again, by the way, if you're just tuning in, we are on the Let's Talk Monday show. We're talking with Pastor Chad McGriff, and we're going to talk about his ministry before we close out this interview. And also be sure to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, SLR Pros. Tell somebody about this very exciting information that's going to be life changing for someone. Um, between 2013 and last year, 2024, there were some statistics that showed that there was an actual increase of the way that people spent their money on their dads or fathers or uncles or what have you. However, there is still a very big gap between the amount of spending that people do for moms for Mother's Day. What, in your opinion or your thinking, is the possible reason for that gap? Why is there
Uh,
still very much a significance to the way that dads are treated versus the way moms are acknowledged?
Right. I think that my age generation of
Mhm,
uh well, like the millennials, a lot of them grew up with single family households, and I
mhm,
think that the when the millennials who have become dads now
mhm,
um desire to be in their kids life, a lot of majority that I've come across, at least. I don't know what the statistics are on it.
Mhm.
However, I believe that there are a lot of millennial dads that really desire to be in their kids' life and they want to be a part of it, and so that may be the uptick in why there's an increase in spending for them, um, and I think
And
they don't
that's
want
good
to make.
news.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I don't think I don't think they want to. I think they see the pain that maybe their child would experience if they weren't present. They don't
Mm,
want their child to experience the same thing that they experience or
right.
whatever. And I think that the reason the gap is is
Mhm.
different for mom and dad is because mama is always there, always has been there, and the thing is, like, even if dad is out, he's present, but he has to provide and he has to work and things of that nature. If he's not uh, visible a lot of times, maybe not of maybe not is his that not that it's his desire not to be present, but
That's right.
maybe just because of circumstances,
Mm,
um, it could be like mom is the one I see all the time. This is one I share all of these moments with and
mhm.
emotional moments and all these different things. So they have a stronger bond with mom and
Absolutely.
and so that's pretty much most of the time always the case. And because of that, everybody trying to make sure mama taken care of, and and you have that heart tug for
Right,
mom, and you'd be like,
right.
dad, he a guy, he'll be all right or whatever. And so a lot, and I think that is, it's funny, but it's also kind of sad at the same time because it's a lot of men that are they put on a good face
Mhm.
and they're like, okay, I don't need anything like that, but
Mm,
they internally desire to be celebrated for
right,
what they contribute to the role of being a father for a child or something like that. It's
mhm,
I feel like it's important for us to do that
right,
and really see the importance of honoring a dad just as much as we do a mom, because even though the roles may be different and the responsibilities may be somewhat different, and even the dynamics of who the child may spend most time with or whatever may be
right,
different, they still have a vital part to play in this child's life. So and I think the child
mhm,
needs to see their father being celebrated, so it kind of teaches them this
right.
habit. I need to celebrate my dad just as much as I celebrate my mom.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it is important to have, I know that's some of the fondest memories that I had because my father, well, he always celebrated us. Of course, you knew of my dad as well, but
Mhm.
he, we saw him celebrating it, so we didn't mind celebrating him. And
Right.
he loved it. He enjoyed it. He didn't make a big fuss about it, but he loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, it means a lot to us. It does.
Okay. Well, see, that's good to hear because I
Yeah.
think sometimes we do take it lightly. Sometimes I think men, their role, because you mentioned that they may not be visible as much,
Mhm.
it's undervalued or
Right.
maybe under not really noticed. So I
Right.
hope after this show, every father that's viewing this show will get something very
Yes.
special from their children, from family members. I pray that that's what's going to happen. So
Yeah.
definitely take note of those things. Dads are not to be taken lightly. We notice God as our heavenly Father before
Right.
anything else. So it is a significant role. Speaking
Absolutely.
of father figures, you mentioned that. I know that you were blessed to have many father figures in your life.
Mhm.
Father, grandfather, uncles, and
Yes.
men, beyond. Tell us, what should a man look for in a father figure? And is it significant? Is it important to have a good father figure in your life? How is that important for a
Absolutely.
young man or woman?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely important. Um yes, I was blessed to have my dad raise me and be, my parents raised us, and grandparents that were present, grandfathers and uncles, and everybody contributed to our upbringing. And it's definitely vital for a father to be present in a child's
Mhm.
life, because having that dynamic. God created us, to have this male and female role as being the guides for us to model him
Yes.
after. And
Yes.
so at seeing husband and wife, or mom and dad, seeing the different dynamics in the way that God has equipped them to
Mhm.
parent us, to lead us, to guide us and direct us. Both of those are necessary for a male child and a female male child.
Yes.
When I talk to dads, and because starting, I'm at a place now where I feel like younger dads are reaching out for mentorship and asking
Wow.
questions, and they're like, "Hey, I want to sit
Wow.
down and have some lunch." And so all of these questions are kind of coming at me. And when I think about them, like, the common role that everybody talks about for a dad or family leader is, protector and provider, and it's like that's it, and we
Mhm.
stop there.
Mhm.
But it's like these other roles that are kind of overlooked is spiritual leader, number one. And I think
Wow.
that's a very important quality that a father figure should have. If he must have a relationship with God, um, because there's a wisdom that you cannot experience or have access to without that relationship and that spiritual connection to God. Um,
Mhm.
so he should be the priest. So that spiritual guide for the child, and
Mhm.
so that affects whether the child is male or female. He should also be the prototype. He's the model, he's the role model for this
Absolutely.
child. So we have 5 sons, and
Mhm.
God finally blessed us with a daughter. So
Yay!
and and so she's the youngest, and so I've had years of experience with leading boys and male children,
Right.
and now she comes along and my entire
Oh boy.
dynamic is shifted, and I'm like,
Yes.
and
Yes.
so it's now it's like, okay, I've been working so hard to equip these boys to be men, and to
Mhm.
walk with God, to listen to the voice of
Yes.
God, how to think like a man, and operate in the role that God has blessed them to be in. But now I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, well, with her, I have to be a model of what a strong godly man should look like for her. And
Yes.
so, it's different responsibilities as far as leading a male and a female child, but
Right.
the necessity of my presence is vital for them to have that, like the male dynamic in their life.
Right.
um with me, I know they I'm a little more stern than mom may be.
Mhm.
I can see the emotions, and I can look past the emotions because you need some correction, but at the same time, and I think that's the difference too um with developing yourself as you go from young father to a more mature and more knowledgeable dad. You understand, like, the different ways to deal with the child's development, and
Right.
how to alter and adapt your parenting styles as a kid develops and grows and everything.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think I kind of just went all over the place, but
No, that's perfectly
but
fine.
I think that is definitely important for every child to have a relationship with their father. And it's also interesting to see, like, the need for male children to receive affection from their dad. Like,
Wow. Yes.
it has been extremely refreshing for me and my sons to share that. And
Mhm.
I try to keep it front of mind all the time to interact with them in a loving manner, not just me being stern or correcting,
Right.
or whatever,
Right.
but also apologizing to them if I handled something wrong. That's been
Wow.
huge.
Mhm.
Just hugging them and telling them I love them, and not making it weird or anything like that, but them just being open to receive affection and love because they crave it. And you'll see that any dad who spends time around their child long enough will see that they desire to have that affection, not just from mom, but from dad as well. So yeah, they definitely need dad in their life.
Wow, that's important and such great information for dads to feel comfortable giving their son a hug every once in a while.
Absolutely. Tell them you
They
love
need
them.
that
Yes.
affirmation.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, certainly, if you are just tuning in, you're going to be able to listen back to this recording and hopefully apply some of the knowledge and wisdom that you've heard in just these few moments. We're talking about paternity, and we're talking with Pastor Chad McGriff, and he is giving his take on fatherhood. Now, we know that you are a father and a husband, and also you are a pastor of Saint City Church. Tell
Yes.
us about this wonderful vision. And I hear something about a Sunday social. Let me know about this and tell the audience about the ministry.
Yeah. So just a couple years ago, God just hammered me and it was like, hey, it's time to uh be obedient to the call of pastor. Not that I was running away from it or anything, but I knew that there was a certain level of surrender I had to get to.
Wow.
And I think once I got to that point, this is when God had the freedom, because I was in the way. It wasn't him. God had the freedom to just, kind of download the vision that he has for this ministry work to take place. And so it's been amazing just to see it. A lot of things transpired quickly and fast as far as like us getting started. It was not according to how I planned things to go.
Mhm.
But God had other plans. And so he
Always.
gave us, yeah, he gave us the opportunity to have a location to start meeting. And so we had to kind of take action on that really fast. And so my entire plan for getting started just kind of went out the window. I was like, okay, well, hey, we're meeting here on Sundays. Come out if you can.
Yes.
So yeah, we're in the coffee shop right now, but it's amazing. We're doing Bible study every Sunday, and just following the Spirit as He leads us to kind of grow and develop this body and community of believers for the vision and the work he has for us to do in the city. It's a big vision of what God has shown me. And he's telling me to be faithful in this early stage. Don't despise the small beginnings. God
Absolutely.
loves to see the work begin. So
Mhm.
I think that respecting what God has initiated and honoring it
Mhm.
and tending to it will
Mhm.
definitely yield great results
Mhm.
in the future. So I'm just having fun with it. I'm enjoying the process and taking it day by day as the Holy Spirit leads, and we're growing. So I'm
Excellent.
excited.
Excellent. Well, they can certainly get more information about Saints City Church on your Facebook page as well as
Uh,
your website,
yes.
which of course you can give us that information so that they can look you up.
Yes, on Instagram we're saintcity.social, and our website is saintcity.church.
Okay.
So yeah, you can go in there and see when we're gathering. But we gather every Sunday at 10 a.m. If you're in Jacksonville, then it's a location called Grounds of Grace Coffee Shop in the Arlington area, and yeah, we're there every Sunday. So come by, stop by, let's do some Bible study and hang out with us, drink some coffee.
All right. Now you said coffee, so you might get three members just right
Let's
there.
go.
Coffee in church. So that's amazing. I know many ministries do resort to that. So I really appreciate that you too are participating and drawing using those resources to draw individuals to learn more about Christ. So we
Absolutely.
certainly wish you blessings in that endeavor. Now, finally, before we close out, there is a business that you are involved or have been a part of,
Mhm.
and it involves DNA. And we know that knowing your history, knowing who you are, is very important. Tell us a
Yes.
little bit about this particular business venture and how can individuals be a part of that?
Yeah. So, Clarity Mobile DNA is something that me and my wife started at the end of last year. Um, and the entire goal for doing this, we wanted to find or create a business opportunity that would allow us to work together, and also put us in the position to build. greater financial stability for our family, but also be impactful in a way. And so this this business allows us to offer paternity testing for individuals that need legal DNA testing, and just get answers for people, because a lot of times, people are confused in certain
Wow.
situations.
Oh boy.
Certain situations happen, and people need clarity on what's going on. So that's our responsibility to get those answers for those people. You have for those people, you have some fathers who, or alleged fathers who may not be sure on, and they want to get answers. And
That's right.
so we just offer that. It's discreet, it's personal, private, it's mobile. So we meet you in a location that's secure to you, and so it gives the people the opportunity to feel comfortable in doing this and getting the answers that they need.
Absolutely. That sounds, I'm sure there's someone that's listening that may need that information.
Yes.
And certainly, is there a way they can reach out to you to get more details if they need
Yes,
to ask?
claritymobiledna.com is
Okay.
the website. And yeah, you can look on there to see exactly what we do. Beyond just paternity testing, we do siblingship and grandparentage. And so family relationship testing, any family relationship testing we can do. We also have like home DNA kits, so we can send DNA kits to someone. It's not That's not a legal test, but they can still get the answers that they need. With the legal test, they have the opportunity to use those in like court proceedings and things of that nature. So, but yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we thank you for telling us about this bit of information. It's certainly a great resource for Father's Day. Maybe that might be a good gift for
Hey.
yourself to yourself.
Exactly.
So you can know for sure what's
Right.
going on. Today, we have spoken with Pastor Chad McGriff of Saints City Church. You can go to his website, and that's saintscity.church. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Correct.
Okay, so go to saintscity.church, and of course, you can find him on Facebook as well. And then also, we have Clarity Mobile DNA Testing. Is that correct? The
Yes.
Clarity, that's with a K. Okay,
Yes.
so, okay. All right, because I know somebody says, you said clarity. No,
Right.
okay.
It
Okay, clarity with the
is
K.
with a
So be
K.
sure to look it up. Also, I'm sure if you reach out to Pastor McGriff, he'll be happy to guide you with getting that information as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Let's Talk Monday show. Thank you, Pastor Chad. I certainly wish you and Erica and the children a big blessing and
Thank
just
you.
so much favor for coming on. And I'm sure someone has been blessed by the information that was provided today.
I pray they were. Thank you for
Thank
having us.
you. And also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for Let's Talk Mondays. And of course, that's where we talk to you on the other side of the weekend. Have a great one. We'll see you the next time.